Good evening, folks. Triple Crown here, coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. Operation Dark Winter. This is a round 6 for the KMT and USA. KMT has 19 IPP to spend, saving $1, purchasing 6 infantry, no battles to declare, all non-combat movement. So here we go. Hopefully I get everything on camera this time. So 1 infantry from Hunan is going up into Shenxi, and everything, just so I don't have to chip anything, everything from Shenxi. So 20 infantry, a AAA, artillery, sorry, not Shenxi. Let me back that up. We will leave an infantry in Hunan. We will also leave an infantry in Shenxi, and we will be backing everything up to Kwaichao. That is what I wanted to do. So cavalry, 19 infantry. So we're leaving an infantry behind in Shenxi, 1 in Hunan, 1 in Guangxi. I'll just chip that out now. And the fighter, it doesn't matter because it's at an airbase, so it can stay where it is. And we are placing 6 infantry. And I don't know where this British guy is, if he's actually in Hong Kong. So we're placing the 6 new infantry in Guangxi. And I guess I could have gone into there because there's nobody actually there. It doesn't. Let's change that. Let's put everybody in here. Just because the KMT, so I'm going to rechip that. Sorry, folks. Simple non-combat movement turned into a nightmare. The Japanese are, there's a zone buffer between us. So yes, so that's all the same. So territories 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus 3 is 12. And plus an NO bonus of 5. So 17, and we saved $1. So 18 IPP going into round 7. So we will go right into the United States. Just to clarify, United States income is not at 75, it's at 74 because they are not in control of Alaska, and I counted it on my last income. So here we go. US is scorching 7 bases in the Pacific, basically on all the islands, Philippines, Guam, Midway, and Hawaii. So that's 7 bases in total. I'll go over them after when I place units. So US is spending all of its money, 2 Marines, 3 regular infantry, 5 tanks, and 2 P-38s, which are the tactical bombers for the United States. They're not fighters, they're actually considered a tactical bomber, and 1 destroyer. I don't know if I said the destroyer. There's 3 battles. So the first battle is the battle for Newfoundland. And what's happening in Newfoundland is 1 transport is picking up 1 guy from Washington, going up into this sea zone, picking up the tank in Quebec. So we are going into this battle with 1 tank and a man, attacking 1 Italian infantry. The other attack is another transport is picking up a tank from Washington. And it can actually, it's actually going to stay there. Yeah, I may as well stay there. And an infantry from New England and it is attacking Nova Scotia. We want that air base back. So those are the two attacks. Now the next attack, there might be a discrepancy in movement of these aircraft because they are going to be attacking Western United States. And the question is this body of water here is one C zone. So that's one, okay? So this is all the stuff that's coming. So these two aircraft are attacking. This is the third attack, Western United States. So the P-38s, the tactical bomber, just so everybody aware, is coming from an air base, and it has a movement of 5, and from the air base it's a 6. The medium bomber has a movement of 7. So the question is, it's because the map is, you know, it's got a dividing line here. So I don't actually 100% know in terms of, so they're going to go into the Great Lakes. Okay, so that's a movement of 1. So I'll bring them over here and we will move our camera. And I'll explain the question. So here is the question. So do the Great Lakes, when they end, do they end in the Pacific Northwest? If they do, that would be their second movement. And this would be their third into the Pacific Northwest. So we're attacking the two amphibious tanks that are in Western United States. And so this attack here is going to be supported by an infantry coming down from Pacific Northwest into Western United States, and also let's send the farm. So another 4 infantry from the Southwest. So 4 infantry, a tactical, a fighter, and 4 infantry, and one of those being a Marine, but it doesn't matter. I guess it does if they do an amphibious attack. So 3 regular infantry, 1 Marine, 1 tactical, and 1 medium bomber attacking these 2 amphibious tanks. So the question is this right? So the tactical should have 3 spots remaining and the medium bomber should have 4. So they would be landing back in the Great Plains. So out of range of this aircraft, so they can do no air blitz. So just also a correction on this map. We did an update, not an update, but basically last turn, Captain G attacked in the Midwest, and I thought he did an air blitz, but he actually had 3 infantry go 2 spaces into the Midwest. So he's retracted the infantry, and so the 3 casualties were in fact attacked, what are they called, naval fighters. So that's what happened there. That's why there's less aircraft there. So we will go ahead and roll some dice. And where is my dice tray? Okay, I got it. I don't know why I didn't have it ready. Sorry, folks. My cat likes to sit in my dice tray, so I'm just... There's some fur in there. She likes the velvet. I don't know. Who doesn't like velvet? So I'm just going to move this infantry out of Kazakh, or move it forward so you guys can see. You can see there's some cat here, so I apologize about this. So we'll roll the battle for Newfoundland first, which is actually now part of Canada, but in World War II, Labrador and Newfoundland were not a part of Canada yet. So a little bit of history there. So into this attack, the battle for Newfoundland, we have 1 at 2. We have 1 at 6. And we will say the yellow is the defender, the Italian. So there, 1 Italian infantry is defending at a 4. So we've got 1 at 2, 1 at 6, and a 4. So here we go. And looks like the tank got a hit. And the Newfie, the Italian Newfie, he rolled a 9. That's what we call Newfoundlanders in Canada. We call them Newfies for short. I don't know if that's still appropriate to say, but I have some Newfoundland friends, and they refer to themselves as Newfies, and I've always kind of liked that nickname. anyways, the battle for Nova Scotia. So same, we have 1 infantry at 2, 1 medium tank at 6, and 1 Italian, actually he is defending, he's a bersaglieri, so he's actually defending, I believe, at a 5. Well, let me confirm, because it's from an amphibious attack. So, yeah, so the Italian Nufi bersaglieri is at a 5. So we've got a 2, a 6, attacking a 5. And the tank, again, rolled a 3. We got lucky. So we rolled a 3. And the Italian Nufis keep rolling 9. So the bersaglieri is defeated. And those territories are all liberated. So all of the Eastern Canada, Newfoundland, Quebec have all been liberated, going back to their original controllers, which are the British and the Canadians. So a teamwork effort. The British did liberate Labrador last round. So now the battle for the Western United States. So into this attack we have 4 at 2 for the 4 infantry. And we are going to have 2 at 4 for the medium bomber. And 1 at 7 for the P-38. So we've got 6, 7 dice, and the defenders are going to be 2 at 4. And I believe, let me just double check, because they are amphibious tanks and there's no amphibious attack. So yes, they defend at a 4. So we've got 4 at 2, 2 at 4, and 1 at 7 attacking 2 at 4. And we rolled 1 hit. We've got a 2. They rolled a 7 and a 10, and everything else misses. So we will re-roll. We did roll a 3, so we were close. So there we go. Round 2. They got a hit. We rolled 2 1s, and everybody else missed. So our 2 infantry scored a hit, and they rolled a 4. So we will lose 1 regular infantry, and they lose their 2 amphibious tanks. And Western United States is liberated. So now comes time for non-combat movement. So that transport can't move. This guy can't move. Those guys are convoying, so I'm gonna back out here. So you can see, so 1 transport they did not move. He's from C-Zone. He's gonna go down 1, 2, 3. He's gonna grab a guy from Panama and drop him off in Boa Vista, which is in part of Brazil. So we're just annexed this territory, and that transport is gonna be joined by this Navy down here. So a torpedo boat, 2 destroyers, and a cruiser are coming down to join. So you've got 1 transport in that C-Zone, and there's 2 submarines in C-Zone 21. They are going to come down to C-Zone 29. And yes, that's what I want. So got a transport left in 25 and a transport in 21. So 4 infantry from Washington, or from New England, are going to rail to southwest. Okay, and this is going to get confusing. So the infantry from Mexico is going to walk this way to Baja. These two infantry from the Great Plains and the Deep South, they are going to walk into Midwest. And the infantry in Appalachia and Southwest are going to walk into Deep South and the Great Plains. And these guys, so we've got 4 tanks left and a mech. They are going to drive 2 spaces into... So we'll drive 2 tanks and a mech up to the Great Plains and another 2 armor into the Deep South. Just in case so they have the full potential of movement to go whatever it is, the Deep South. So, and the Great Plains, 1 infantry, 1 mech, 2 medium tanks, Deep South, 2 medium tanks, 1 infantry. While we're over here, if you guys are okay, all of our builds have to be placed here, so it doesn't really matter. So the 2 tacticals are going to be placed in Washington. Destroyer, C-Zone 25. Actually, 1 infantry is going to be placed in the Philippines, but we're leaving infantry behind. So 2 infantry in New England, 2 Marines in New England, 5 tanks in Washington, and we have 1 infantry behind. He's being placed in the Philippines. So I'll just go ahead and do that. So over the other side, now depending on where the aircraft have to land, they have 4 spaces removing, so they are going to land. That would be the medium bomber. They have, 3 spaces remaining, so they are going to land in the Great Plains, which they have movement left to do. That makes sense? So hopefully everybody's okay with those movements. Now we got movement happening here. The mech, or the infantry in Baja, is going up into the Deep South. So we're going to have 4 infantry there. And 1 mech from Baja is driving into the Midwest. Okay, so now I have a whole bunch of bases to scorch. So we have 7 air and naval base on the Philippines. That's 1 and 2. Air base in Guam. Air and naval base in Midway. And air and naval base in Hawaii. So everything is scorched. So the US spent all of its money. They went up 1 on the tracker. So, and they are down, I believe it's 8. So 8 minus 25, so they're at 107. 7 minus 32. So the US is 76 on the tracker. No, 75, because they still don't have Alaska. So 75 on the tracker for the United States. And that is the end of, the America's turn. Thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned for round 7, Italy.